guys, so kuna kitu bana, I think mi inaniogopesha, yet so many people I don't think are talking about it. So kwa wale wamekuwa kifuata my channel, nimekuwa like most of the time nina harp about ile war inaendelea Middle East between Iran and Israel na how it affect oil prices ama energy prices all over the world. So ukiangalia in most countries sahi, especially hiyo war venye ilianza, which is on around 28th of February, that's almost 1 month ago. Venye hiyo war ilianza, every geopolitical analyst alikuwa anajua ita heavily restrain the amount of oil ambayo like the Gulf countries zitawezanga kuexport. Na hiyo ni something that was widely, ama wacha niseme mimi for a fact I knew that was going to happen. So any government ambayo iko a little bit iko na a bit of common sense, wanafaa kuwa wameanza ku make plans ya how wataget additional oil resources ama additional oil into the economy. So just to give you a perspective, nilikuwa like a little bit critical about a minister of energy ambaye anaitwa Opiyo Wandayi, especially when the war started. Alikuwa at a burial in somewhere in Nyanza, na ukifollow most of his work, hiyo ndio imekuwa like he's in mostly political gatherings, na hii ni kitu one of the most critical and scary thing ambayo ina happen in geopolitically sahi. So maybe just to give you a bit of context, ukiangalia sahi especially in Kenya, Kenya tunatoanga most of our oil and gas from the Middle East. That means country ya UAE na Saudi Arabia. But sahi ukiangalia, because of ile war inaendelea between Iran and Israel, kuna this strait ambayo like iko in the Middle East ambayo imeblokiwa, that all the oil haiwezi toka sasa from the Middle East, na it was Strait of Hormuz. So hiyo ndio something that ambayo ni so critical that any government ambayo iko na a bit of sense wanafaa kuwa wameanza kuwa like, okay, hii war the likelihood that hii war itaendelea for not only weeks but months ni very high. So tusipo make a concerted effort ya kujaribu ku mitigate the risk to our economy, tutakuwa in deep trouble. So unaona kama for example, just to give you a bit of example ya what most East Asian countries zilifanya. So East Asia ni one of the fastest growing economies in the world, anywhere in the world. So hii ndio some of the things walifanya. So China for example, na hizi first in the big boys, unaweza hizi how ni almost like the big boys, how ni you will imagine that their sense is very high. So China for example, almost immediately waliacha any exportation of oil. Wao ni a major refiner of oil, so wakacha any form of exportation. The same with the same thing with India, wakimitigate risk, same wakijaribu ku mitigate risk. But wacha niangalia about more middle income countries. So ukiangalia in East Asian countries, Sri Lanka wali introduce weekly fuel quotas, like hauwezi buy more than 5 liters. Sasa Myanmar waka implement an odd and private vehicle limit of consumption. So for example, kama nini yako ni an odd number, kama number plate yako ni an odd number, kuna days unaweza buy fuel, even number unaweza buy fuel. So hiyo ni one way. So Vietnam wali pass policy ya ku encourage people ku either ku carpool na kujaribu kutumia bicycles ama ku restrict movement sana ndio isikule reserves zao za mafuta. In Thailand wali introduce fuel exports restrictions. Sasa Philippines wali introduce 4 day weeks ndio kujaribu ku reduce gasoline consumption. In Bangladesh wali introduce fuel rationing system. So unaona all this ni common sense ambazo like unafaa kujaribu kufanya kwa like, okay, kama the producer of most of our oil watakuwa in parallel ama watakuwa limited, let us make plans za kujaribu ku restrict venye tuna handle mambo yetu, which is very different from Kenya bana. Ndio some of the videos ambazo nili go through jana, nilikuwa like, okay, the first thing you would notice that the price of oil ama mafuta has barely shifted. Na hii ni kitu something which is very different, which is very a little bit crazy to me, ni that kama unajua mafuta haitakuwa next month. Just to give you a bit of context, unajua Kenya hatunanga what people call strategic oil reserves. like hatuna storage ya mafuta mingi ati inaweza to last, maybe tuko na shock absorption ya almost like a month ama 2 weeks ama a month ama 3 months. Unaona, tuko na only enough oil on demand, na most of our oil yetu inakujaga twice per month, which is every 15 days. Sasa so every 15 days ukiimagine that war ilianza on 28th, sa 28th of February, now it's almost 1 month in. That means reserves zetu, they are almost non-existent by now, na no one is talking about this issue. Sahi ukiangalia like people hatuja cut down on consumption, hatujajaribu kuregulate how mafuta inatumika. So unaona kama sahi for example ukienda most we have been living like kila kitu, everything is fine, yet it is not. Na hiyo ndio something ambayo like most people I think I go through into our policy makers minds that we are in real danger of Kenya happen. So ukienda back to the prices of oil at before maybe January, February, before the war, it was barely at $70 at barrel. Do you know how much in a barrel of oil inauza sahi? Almost $100 plus per barrel. Na hiyo price will only get higher as the war progresses. So hakuna mtu, I think maybe ni mimi sijui, but ukiangalia policy makers especially Ministry of Energy, nimekuwa nikijaribu kuangalia their feed maybe waki-announce some kind of way ya mitigate all these risks. There is no, hiyo price ya oil ikijump from pale kuwa below $70 to Kenya sahi inaenda kuhit almost $110 plus ukibuy from the international markets. Hiyo inamaanisha that price ya oil ile ambayo tunatumia every day itakuwa imeshift from anywhere between, right now iko around 178 shillings. Hiyo price ita most likely jump to all the way to 250 plus. So hiyo ni something that ndio uweze kumitigate kitu kama hiyo, unafaa kujaribu ku make the graph ama the incline more smooth, kusmoothen out hiyo jump isikuwe so crazy. Na hii nitaendelea kuongea about hiyo kitu. Hopefully we get a solution soon, but if we don't I think tutakuwa in real trouble.